Yeah, great question. Our goal simply is to democratize and decentralize television. So we are doing a bunch of different things. The first thing is to reward users for watching content. So we're excited that we've created a protocol mechanism to allow users on a day-to-day basis, whether it's on their mobile, whether it's on their TV screen, or whether it's on their desktop, to earn on a day-to-day basis.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TrustSwap Launchpad interview series with Script Network. My name is Brett, and I'll be your host. Today, I'm joined by my guest, Akeem Ojuko, the co-founder of Script Network. Thanks for joining us today, Akeem. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Brett. Excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
We're excited to have you. Before we get the interview going, a quick reminder to please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like this video for more Launchpad news, TrustSwap updates, and some exclusive content. Akeem, we're excited to have you with us today on the interview series, and I'm looking forward to our chat. If you could please start off by telling the community a little bit about yourself and then telling us a little bit about Script Network.
Yeah, sure. So, hey everyone, my name's Akeem. I'm one of the co-founders of Script Network. We have a team across Europe and Asia largely that's been building what we feel is the future of film and television at scale over the last couple of years. So, what is Script Network? I guess is a huge question. So, it's an open source live TV protocol and decentralized storage network. Essentially, as a layer one blockchain, Script Network has a bunch of different products, but the large and most important right now is the Super DApp, which is also known as Script TV. Script TV is a live streaming broadcast network, which ultimately acts just like a traditional TV service, which rewards users on a day to day basis whilst watching TV. Now, it operates just like a traditional and simple TV service, where there's ads every 8 to 12 minutes, which are not skippable. You can flick between channels whenever you want. And obviously, shows start at very, very specific times. So, very different to YouTube, which is user generated, where users upload content on a day to day basis. And it's very different from, let's say, Netflix or Amazon Prime, which is a subscription on demand service where people ultimately watch a library of content for an amount that they pay for on a month to month basis. This is free TV, premium free TV at scale. And we're excited to actually create a mechanism and protocol which actually rewards users whilst watching, whether it's on their mobile, whether it's on their TV or on their desktop. So that's an exciting side. Just briefly talking about the other side of our business is the enterprise model, which is super exciting. We're able to save companies up to 85% on storage, transcoding, and transfer costs, whether they're a studio, whether they're a content creator, whether they're a filmmaker, or even if they're just a company that uses video at scale. So we're really solving an issue which saves a significant issue or solves a significant issue for enterprises and ultimately for users to make TV free, premium TV free, which is what we feel should have been the case years ago. So, yeah, that's a little bit more about Script Network and our goals over the next couple of months and years.
Thanks for sharing that. A couple lofty goals and some exciting stuff that you're
Yeah.
working on over there. I'm curious a little bit to learn about the current user base for Script Network or Script TV. Who are these pioneers and how many people are already using your product?
Yeah, super excited to talk about this. I mean, we are excited to be one of the fastest growing streaming companies now in the world. I mean, we now have about 170,000 users using our TV service. That's currently doing about 1.5 million minutes a week on the platform at the moment. And that's without a reward mechanism kicked in. Of course, you get users who are using the service because they're excited or they're a stakeholder in some way, shape, or form. But we're excited that that's organically growing by about 300 or 400 users a day at the moment, as well as the minutes watched on the platform is increasing week on week as well. We thoroughly expect that to be at around 1 million minutes a day by the end of the year, once our mechanism kicks in and once we go to mainnet. And, like I said, that's already making us, in the top 1% of all streaming networks in terms of speed of growth as of now. On the enterprise side, we actually have 3 clients that are using our service. One coming on board as at the moment as well, which is one of the larger casino operated or gaming operated companies in the crypto space that will be using our service for distribution as well as for content management. And then obviously we have dApps, of course, because we're a layer one blockchain that is, in testnet at the moment. We have about 7 or 8 that is using our service and growing on a week to week basis as well. So yeah, we're super excited about that. But generally, our pioneers are just a mix of users who love TV and obviously want to essentially experience premium TV at scale for free.
Premium TV at scale for free sounds pretty good, and it's
It's
incredible
good.
growth that you've been talking about. At TrustSwap, in the marketing department specifically, we always talk about kind of like why. Why? Start with why. Why are things important? Why does the world need Script Network, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, this is a great question. So I think, if you just take it back again, we're looking at a two-sided model here, where we're looking at the enterprise problem and the consumer problem. So, from an enterprise perspective, at the moment, the option that most companies have that use video at scale is AWS, Tencent, Google Cloud, etc., and they ultimately charge a massive amount, ultimately 80 up to 85% more than they should, to store their data, to transcode their videos, and ultimately to have a place for their videos, on a day-to-day basis. So we're able to, for our node network, save companies significant amounts of money, and not just companies, but filmmakers as well, and individuals who have a lot of video usage. But on the flip side, we also operate a distribution opportunity where, instead of relying on Amazon or Hulu or Netflix to distribute that film that's taken you 5 years to make, or that TV show that you can't find a home for, we actually can distribute and actually pay users faster, um, potentially up to 4 times more than any other platform. We can actually go from saying hello to actually having the content distributed on our platform within a matter of weeks rather than months. So we can solve that issue from a distribution perspective as well for a lot of these companies. Now, on the consumer side, for which many of the people who are listening may be, we ultimately have an option that we can actually create a TV network of hundreds of channels. At the moment, there's only, I think, 7 that we have in our network, which I'm excited to go into more. We can create a network which ultimately has a number of channels, which is premium, whether it's live sports, whether it's live news, whether it's documentaries, whether it's TV shows, completely free for the user. So even if you don't want to use and ultimately operate on chain, if you haven't got a clue what a blockchain is or what a crypto wallet is, you can ultimately still watch free TV without any cost, no strings attached, no contracts to sign, no card details needed. And that is essentially something that many people in the world have not got an option for. And that's why the world needs Script Network. It's really to democratize TV. It's to decentralize it. It's to actually avoid having people to pay for something that they shouldn't have to pay for. And ultimately, one of the cool things that we're bringing in, Brett, in the next, probably by Q2 2024, is through joining the NVIDIA a partner program, we're actually able to use a bunch of their tooling to actually not only automate the content, but actually allow content governance to go through a process. So this allows users, let's say they have 10,000 or 15,000 script tokens, they can actually put a proposal forward and say, hey, I want to watch more American horror films. I want to watch more French dramas, and just kind of like protocol governance. Users can then vote for or against. If that actually passes, then it goes through an AI tool, which actually then helps decide upon the next TV show to actually be put on the network and the next channels to be put on the network as well. So our goal is, in the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years, to actually make this a platform that's owned by the holders and by the users, which is controlled and decided upon by those who matter most, rather than big tech, big media deciding upon what you're watching and viewing on a day-to-day basis.
That's incredible, and it's an amazing journey that your team is on. So myself, and I'm sure a lot of people in the community, if we have no idea how to get started, can you walk us through that journey? Like, where do we get started? How do we start watching, for free and
Yeah,
get involved?
great question. So simply just head to www.script.tv. Once you head there, if you actually scroll down within 5 seconds, you can just start watching. That's if you don't want to earn anything, you just want to chill, watch TV. You can flick between channels. And if you want to earn, just simply log in. It takes 5 to 10 seconds to set up an account. and then you can simply start earning tokens and rewards. Right now we're in beta, so you can't actually earn mainnet tokens as of now, but you can actually earn something called script points, which can then be converted for NFTs and other benefits. But super simple. Head to script.tv and yeah, crack on. Mobile or desktop, and as of next month, Samsung TV as well. So if you've got a Samsung TV device, make sure you check that out.
You guys heard it here first. Script.tv. Let's go make sure to check that one out. That all sounds incredible and super easy. You can head to script.tv, get started right now for free. What more can I say? It's an incredible product and it's an incredible vision. What makes you stand out from your competitors, whether they're Web3 or they're traditional? Like, why should people switch up what they're doing right now and use Script Network or Script TV over the competitors?
Great question. Thanks, Brett. Yeah, essentially, there are a lot of players in this market in Web 2 and Web 3. There's huge differences between us and them, however. So, firstly, on the Web 2 side, there are no platforms, of course, that has a reward mechanism for obvious reason. And in fact, actually, those who offer free TV doesn't even have a sign-up process. They have no community, and they have all of the downsides, essentially, of Web 2 traditional businesses, as you know, from that perspective. Now, in Web 3, long and short of it is there is actually no platform that actually is a broadcast TV network. There's a couple of companies that are trying to replicate or decentralize YouTube or decentralize Netflix and things like this, but there is none from a TV perspective that essentially is creating a TV network using blockchain technology, and especially none that actually has a complex reward mechanism, which actually then not only benefits the user on a day-to-day basis, but actually encapsulates the entire network to actually be fed with daily rewards based on your watch time and ultimately based on other people's usability and effects as well. So we have huge differences between ourselves and competitors, and we're proud to openly say that. And we do feel that, as things go on, there will be more competitors that will enter the market. And our goal is to be at the forefront of television, on-chain, and decentralized TV and film in general.
So our community does a lot of studying, especially into the projects that we're about to launch. They're probably one of the best communities for that. In terms of business model, so Watch to Earn is super interesting. How can you just go into that for the community? Can you explain how the Watch to Earn business model works? Where does revenue come from? For somebody, pretend I don't know anything. How does that work?
Yeah, great question. So first and foremost, the most important thing for us is to build a sustainable business, whether Bitcoin is at $1 or $1,000,000. We want to ensure that the business is sustainable, unscalable 5 years in the future, 10 years in the future. So one of the great things is that our core revenue stream is actually off-chain. So we actually generate revenue through advertising, through our core tier one advertising partners, whether that would be, Audi, whether that be Grand Pandano cheese, etc. Now, what happens is we would have TV channels that will obviously be watched, and every 12 minutes or so, there will be ads that will run. We essentially get paid in fiat into our account, which is completely off-chain. We do have revenue streams on-chain, but actually the off-chain revenue stream allows us to essentially do things like buyback burns. It ensures that we have a sustainable business that can grow regardless of just relying on things that happen on-chain. But largely, we have a very, very simple model whereby, based on the user, based on their demographics, based on how many hours watched on the platform, essentially depends on how much revenue the company earns in general. We do have marketplace fees and other sub revenue streams, but generally our core revenue driver is advertising.
Incredible. Moving forward a little bit, I'm a marketing guy. I like everything to do with communications and marketing and all that kind of stuff. From more the business side of things, can you tell us a little bit about your go-to-market strategy? So post launch, the product is now live. Do you have any go-to-market strategy updates that you can provide the community with?
Absolutely, yeah. So one of the things that was super important to us was launching, but not just launching with no plan, not just launching and just the token just being in existence. So we really wanted to focus both pre-launch and post-launch on scale with regards to, your sister Brett or my mom or his uncle that's watching to actually understand script TV and use it on a day-to-day basis. It's super important for that. So some of the things that we've got on our go-to-market strategy is actually using a lot of Web 2 aspects, whether it's search advertising, whether it's partnerships in Web 2, whether it's making the platform super easy and friendly without any need for signing up to a wallet even, or having a MetaMask account, or for even signing up in general, just wanting to watch TV for free. We really wanted to focus on that at scale. And we really wanted to do that alongside having a nice, simple referral mechanism with actually benefits of users actually claiming rewards in real life, being something to be at the forefront of our actual post-launch strategy. Of course, we'll be doing everything in Web3 that people are used to, which is like KOLs, which is heavy partnerships within the space. We're part of the Cointelegraph Accelerator as well. So we'll have a lot of PR and articles that will help push the brand and push, our strategy and what we're doing long term to the world. But I think what's so important for us, and I know it's a cliche thing to say we're trying to onboard the next 100 or 200 million users, but we really are. And actually, the key thing, which is what I've not mentioned yet, or maybe I mentioned it a few minutes ago, was actually the Samsung TV devices as of Q1 next year. We're going live on. So that means every single person who's got a Samsung TV, smart TV, should I say, in the world will actually be Script TV 2024. We will be at the end of Q1 2024 going live on LG TV devices as well, which means over 250 million devices worldwide, 250 million homes worldwide will have access to Script TV alongside all of our other marketing and go-to-market strategies that we have at the moment as well. So we're super excited for that, and we can't wait to actually have the future of TV and film in everyone's home.
Well, it's very forward thinking because you actually answered my next question without me even asking it. I was going to ask if you could give the community a little bit of alpha, a sneak peek behind a massive announcement coming up. But hey, so if I can recap that, that's sounding like we're going to have Script TV on Samsung first and then LG coming up right after, correct?
Yes, exactly. So we're super excited to say that. For us to build an app is one thing. To build a DApp is another thing. We're using blockchain technology, but actually having it in the hands of, people who have never ever touched blockchain is really, really what matters to us. And we're excited about our alpha being things that work at scale. We actually have some more alpha coming, but for that we'll just keep we're gonna hold that back for a bit. Just make sure for anyone who's listening, please do ensure you turn your notifications on Discord, on Telegram, on Twitter, because we got a lot. Well, I'd say we've got a lot of information happening and coming over the next couple of weeks. So do stay tuned.
Well, after that first news you dropped, I think it's worth hopping over to those channels and making sure we're keeping up. For the community watching the videos, all links will be down below. Everything we talk about in the video will be linked down below. Make sure to check out the subscription, and yeah, I'm gonna make sure to head on over there and turn on the little bell notification button so I know when all these updates are coming, especially after that last one. So this all sounds pretty exciting. How does the community get involved at this stage?
Yeah, great question. So November 17th, that's the date for the diary. TrustSwap, we're super excited to be a partner of, and we're going live. So this is a great opportunity if you are listening or watching this to get involved in the IDO that's coming up. And that's the best way to get involved. There is a bunch of Launchpad partners that we have, exchange partners, etc. Again, keep your notifications on and stay tuned for that. But certainly the most exciting one, which is certainly coming in on November 17th, is TrustSwap. So that's the best way to get involved. And all the information, I think, will be in the description and the comments as well if you want to know where to do that.
Absolutely. November 17th, 5 p.m. UTC. Make sure to mark those calendars, everybody. Links are going to be below. And if you're from the TrustSwap community, you got to go read the blog post. If anybody is wondering how to get involved, there's a very detailed layout in text in the blog post, which will be linked below. So we'll make sure that, you're all good to go. If you have any questions, make sure to head on into our Telegram channel where we can answer those questions for you in real time. We have a full team in there. So we want to make sure that everybody can participate. Akeem, this was a fantastic conversation. I had a blast chatting about Script TV. I'm super excited about the launch. I'm super excited about the product. I'm super excited that I got to, sit down and have a chat with you. Do you have any final words for the community? Anything you want to kind of leave them on before we head out here for the day?
Yeah, I think for us, we're super excited to be a partner of TrustSwap. We're super excited to have everyone who's listening to become a partner or a user of Script TV or Script Network in general. And for us, we'd love for you to join our community if you haven't already. Check our docs. We have so much information in terms of what we're building and why we're building it. I think that matters so much as well. And we're now 150,000 lines of code into development. We've been building for 2+ years. We have a 17-person team across 3 continents. So we've been building really, really hard to bring everyone the best possible product. And we're excited for you to try it. So, we're all here for you. And that's you, the user. So do be sure to check it if you can. And, we'll be open in the chats and in the community to answer all your questions if there are any. But apart from that, we'll see you at the IDO. And, thank you so much, guys, for having me, Brett and TrustSwap team.
Exciting times in TrustSwap community. Let's make sure to go show Script Network a little bit of love. Let's hop into those community channels. Let them know where we're from. Thank you, Akeem, for joining us today and sharing your vision for Script Network. Personally, I think it's fantastic to see the watch to earn model really shaking things up. Like, I love this. I want to thank the audience for watching this week's TrustSwap Launchpad interview series. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and leave any comments with your questions below, because I know Akeem and myself will be happy to continue this conversation offline. For those interested in getting involved with the Script Network community, check out the links in the description below and join the Script Network Telegram channel to learn about all the upcoming news. Becoming an early member is obviously the best way that you can contribute to Script Network's future success. So finally, thanks everyone again. We appreciate you joining us, and we really look forward to the launch of the Script Network on November 17th at 5 p.m. UTC. Thank you, Akeem. Had a wonderful time.
Thanks, Brett.